Okay, you can start.
Namo Arihantanam, Namo Sittanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam, Eso Panchanamo Yaro, Sava Pavapanashano, Mangalancha Savesim Padamam Hoi Mangalam.
Yes, it was almost correct. I don't think any major mistakes. Let me just say it one more time. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Sittanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loye Savvasahunam. Eso Panchanamo Yaro, Savva Pavapanasano, Mangalanancha Savvesim, Padamam Hoi Mangalam. Okay, quick revision and then we move forward. Who would like to name the Panch Parmeshti? Asit.
Arihant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu.
Yes, Arihant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu. Okay, Veena aunty, you have joined in today, so just a quick recap for you. Name the Panch Parmeshti once again, Ashit.
Arihant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu.
Okay, yeah, Arihant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu. Why do we say Arihant first? Because the reality is that Siddh Bhagwan is higher than Arihant, Rahul. The Panch Parmeshtiya Arihant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu. That we all know. Now, why is it that we say Arihant first? Namo Arihantanam. Why don't we say Namo Siddhanam? Because the reality is that Siddh Bhagwan is higher than Arihant Bhagwan because he doesn't have any Gunastan and now he lives in Siddhashila and Arihant Bhagwan is still in Sansar. Of course, he is no longer attached. He's like a Vitrag Bhagwan. But what is the reason that we say Namo Arihantanam first and not Namo Siddhanam? Anybody can think and anything, whatever you think is right, you can at least say it.
Because Arihant Bhagwan is showing us the way, so we honor him more.
Yes, that is completely correct. Because Arihant Bhagwan is actually showing us the way to liberation. He's actually explaining to us, like Veena auntie, what is the soul and how and like what is this universe made out of. And he's explaining to us the nature of the soul and the remaining 5 substances. Now, Bindi, name the 6 substances of the universe. I will start with one. Jeev. Try. No, you are on mute.
Jeev, Pudgal, Dharmastika.
Very good. Dharmastikai.
Kal, and Akal.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good. So for like Veena auntie, there are 6 substances in this universe. Nobody has created this universe. Nobody has created this universe. It has been existing since infinite time and it will continue to exist for another infinite time. Nobody can create this universe for various reasons. Because if there was a creator of this universe, Rahul, where did he stand or she, where did she stand or he stand? Where did he or she stand? And why did they create a universe when it is full of sorrow? There are floods, there's like fire, there's robbery, there are people who are poor, there are people who are starving. Why did he create a universe where people are suffering and then we pray to a God to ask him that now you save us? Or like in some theories they said that a avatar comes down and the avatar saves the world and then again good things start to happen. This doesn't make sense. This actually doesn't make sense because it is scientifically proven that nobody has created this universe. And if nobody has created this universe, Trupti, that means that the 6 substances of the universe are not even created. Now, avoid eating and drinking when we are studying because it is actually in Jinvani, what it is written, it is actually a karma, like ghana like bandhilesu. Because at like this time, if you, in case if you're hungry or thirsty, try and do it before or after the class, and avoid wearing shoes in the class because this is the highest of the highest, what do you say, information, and it should be given that like value as well. So that is the reason why it is written in our scriptures, eating, drinking, and shoes should not be there when we are studying. Okay. So why would one create a universe where there's sorrow? So this theory does not make sense. Now, then there's another theory of Darwin's theory, who says from dinosaurs we became into monkeys, and from monkeys we became into humans. So this theory, again, according to Jain philosophy, doesn't make sense. And the reason is that we have got 24 Tirthankar Bhagwan in this era. In the last 4th era, like of course in the 4th era of this time cycle, Bindi, we had 24 Tirthankar. Before that there were 24 Tirthankar. Before that there were 24 Tirthankar. Before that there were 24 Tirthankar, meaning to say that there was never a time, Rahul, where there were only animals, because dinosaurs come under the category of animals. According to the universe, the soul can go into 4 gatis, into 4 forms of life. And those 4 forms of life are human, animal, hellish being, and heavenly being. Again, one more time, human, animal, heavenly being, and hellish being. So this is saying there was never a time where there were only animals. Like there was never a time when there were only dinosaurs existing. Because this is contradicting to what Arihant Bhagwan is saying. Now, you might ask, Ashit, that why is it that we believe Arihant Bhagwan and not a scientist? This is a question one might have. The reason is that Arihant Bhagwan is on 13th Gunastan, which we have not learned like Gunastan, but like Gunastan are like 14 steps, Bindi. 14 steps going upward. Like at the moment, all of us are on the first step. And Arihant Bhagwan is on the 13th step. He's on the highest. 14th is obviously the highest, but 14th is only for literally 5 seconds, that Gunastan, and then one becomes Siddh Bhagwan. So Arihant Bhagwan is on the 13th step, and we are still on the first step. That is saying that scientists or all of us, our knowledge is literally 1%. It is literally 1% compared to Arihant Bhagwan, whose knowledge is 100%. Why? Because he has attained Kevargnan. He has attained infinite knowledge. His infinite knowledge has now manifested. And for us, what has manifested? Only 1% of knowledge. So these are like reasoning, because we should not also have blind faith that just because we're born in a Jain family, that this is what is correct. No. What like Kunkunacharya says or what Gurudev says is always prove it and then believe it. See, like Kunkunacharya Ashit has written in Samaisar Gatha number 5. He has written that first experience the soul, then you believe it. So he's never saying believe it, just believe it. He's not saying like that. You have to give reasoning to it. And you have to understand what is actually behind the scenes for you to believe that theory. So one more time, Arihant Bhagwan is on 13th Gunastan. And because he's on 13th Gunastan, his knowledge has manifested into infinity. He has got infinite knowledge. Infinite knowledge means what? Let's try to understand what is infinite knowledge. This is really interesting because the reality is all of us have that power of infinite knowledge, and you will feel powerful. Anytime in life when one feels sad, remember I am a soul and I've got infinite powers, infinite powers. So let's understand, Veena auntie, what is infinite? Neelam auntie. If you wish, you can even write this down. What is the number of Jeev, because there are 6 substances. The number of Jeev in the universe is infinite. This is the number, like the total number of Jeev is infinite. The total number of Pudgal is infinite, infinite. So it is much more than Jeev. Obviously Jeev even is infinite. So I mean like we just cannot imagine like infinite, like we will just say infinite, but we have to also feel what is infinite. So Jeev is infinite, Pudgal is infinite, infinite. And Dharmastika is 1. Adharmastika is 1. So both Dharmastika and Adharmastika is only 1 in number. Then Akash is again infinite, because there's Lok and there's Alok, which we will understand at a later point. But for now, infinite. And Kal is Asankhyat, which means limitless. Asankyat Kalanu. So they're infinite. Not infinite, limitless. So when you add the 6, it is the infinite, infinite, infinite. So this is the total number, Bindi, of all the 6 dravyas in the universe. Now, what happens in one manifestation of Kevargnan, which we call pariyaay, which we will learn today. Today we will learn what is pariyaay. So for now, just listen to the word pariyaay. In one pariyaay, in one manifestation of Kevargnani pariyaay, the past, present, and future of these infinite substances are coming in the smallest unit of time. Now, how do you understand the smallest unit of time? In one smallest unit of time, there are uncountable seconds. So you can actually imagine the smallest unit of time is 0.11 zeros and 1. So that's very, very small amount of a second. That's the smallest unit of time. This is only for understanding. That is the smallest unit of time. In that smallest unit of time, in the Kevargnan, what happens is that you as a soul, you can know that infinite. So are you feeling the power of just one manifestation of Kevargnani pariyaay? Meaning it is saying that is your power of knowing. Your power of knowing is like incredible. It is actually incredible, and it is so vast that it is unimaginable that how much one can actually know. That is your power, Bindi, because you are a soul. You are a soul, and that is your power. That is actually showing that this is your power, which is at the moment in the potential state. And of course, in Arihant Bhagwan, it is manifested in the 100% state. So all of us have that ability to attain Arihant Bhagwan. All of us have that ability. Of course, there's a process. It will not happen sitting at home. One first has to become a monk, and then one first has to experience the soul, then attain monkhood, and then slowly from 6th Gunastan, 12th Gunastan will come, where Kevargnan happens. And then one becomes Arihant Bhagwan. So that is a process that we will learn. But this is only for your imagination, your power. Neelamanti, this is your power. So never in life, any one of us have a reason to feel depressed. We don't have any reason to feel depressed, or maybe at times there must be like highs and lows in everyone's life. We experience that. Maybe it could be financially, it could be relationships, it could be anything in life. But there is no reason to feel low, because the reality is that we have that much power within. Why it has not manifested? Because we are still believing I am a body. Day and night, we're thinking about the body. The minute we wake up, I have to brush my teeth, I have to have a bath, I have to have breakfast. The whole thinking is inclined towards I am a body. Now, Veena auntie, body is actually matter particles. Rahul, body is made out of matter particles, and soul is made out of infinite good qualities. So, okay, fine. Let me say that again, because that was actually not like in the best way, like spoken. Jeev and Pudgal are separate. No, like Madhvi, don't write that. Jeev and Pudgal are separate. That is all that you have to understand, that Jeev and Pudgal are separate. The body and the soul are completely separate. Completely separate. It is like saying day and night. They're completely separate and they can never mix, because Jeev cannot become Pudgal, Pudgal cannot become Dharmastikai, Dharmastikai cannot become Adharmastikai, Adharmastikai cannot become Akash, and Akash cannot become Kal. None of the 6 substances can merge into one another. So this is like, this is something very, very important to understand, that the 6 substances cannot merge into one another. Now, this is what we learned in the last class. Now let's move ahead. How many good qualities, what we call gun, how many gun does Jeev have? Ashit should know this. Ashit, how many gun does Jeev have? Soul.
Infinite.
Yes, correct. Jeev has got infinite gun. How many does Pudgal have? Bindi, take a guess. Take a guess. No, you're on mute.
I'm not sure.
Okay, again infinite, okay? Again infinite. Rahul, how many good qualities, how many gun does Dharmastikai have?
1.
Infinite, again infinite.
Also
Now, because now we're not talking about like quantity. Now we're talking about the quality of gun in Dharmastikai. But quantity-wise, Dharmastikai is 1. How about you, Trupti? How many gun are there in Adharmastikai?
None.
No, again infinite. Again infinite. Neelamanti, how many gun are there in Akash? Yeah, infinite. Infinite. And Madhvi, how many gun are there in Kal Dravya?
Is it infinite?
Infinite. So all 6 dravyas individually have got infinite good qualities. Individually, all 6 dravya have got infinite good qualities, Veenanti. So, like for like Veenanti, Jeev is translated into soul. Pudgal is translated into matter particles. If you want, you can write it down. Dharmastikai is translated into ether. Adharmastikai is translated into anti-ether. Akash is translated into space. Akash is translated into space, and Kal is translated into time. So these are the 6. Yeah, Poonam, you can come in. So at least we can also involve you in the group. Yeah, fine. Okay. So like these are the 6 substances of the universe, and nobody has created these substances as well. Nobody can create soul. Nobody can create matter particles. Now, in the children's class, they are so intelligent that the example they give generally, when you ask them this, they're like, if you like see a dead body, the dead body will be burnt into ashes. That ash becomes into soil. The soil becomes into a plant. The plant becomes into a stem and leaves, and the leaves, the plant gives you fruit. We eat the fruit. The fruit is digested. It is removed through the excretory organs of the body. And again, it goes back into the process of being soiled. So the children are very smart. So it is like a never-ending process, as you can see. It is a never-ending process. Matter particles cannot be created or destroyed. Poonam, we have learned this, isn't it? Like in physics. So in like, I think in year 9 physics, that matter particles cannot be created or like destroyed. This is a principle that we have learned in physics. The same applies with soul. The soul cannot be created or destroyed. Now like, let's take the example of a soul. For example, I've got the body of Komal right now. And once I leave this body, I can get a body of either a human again, I can get a hellish being body, I can get a heavenly being body, or I can get an animal body. So this will depend on the deeds I have done. Whatever sort of deeds I have done, I will get that form of a body. And that is a never-ending cycle until one attains moksha. So soul cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed. For example, when somebody dies, this is a general saying that people say, Haveti Bhagwan ni ghare vayogyo. But Bhagwan nu ghar kya che? Bhagwan nu ghar is actually Siddhashila. Siddhashila is where there's no body only. So people like us cannot go to Siddhashila until we go through the process of becoming first a Arihant Bhagwan. Then we become a Siddha Bhagwan, and that is Bhagwan nu ghar. Bhagwan nu ghar is actually Siddhashila, which is the highest point of this universe. It is basically in an art shape. Rahul, next week I will give you a picture of Siddhashila, and then we can put it on the screen. So it is basically in like a crescent shape like that, like a crescent moon shape. And any upar, there are Siddha Bhagwan. Now, last week we touched on a point that in Siddhashila, can souls merge with one another? Can they merge with one another? The answer is no, they cannot merge with one another. What is the reason? The reason we have learned today. The reason is that each soul has got infinite good qualities, meaning the glass is already full. When you try to put water in a glass which is already full, it will spill. It will spill. So in the same way, one is already complete. How can you add something to it? How can you merge it with something? You can't, because it is already complete. The soul in itself is already complete. Hence, that is a reason why we cannot merge souls. Because, Bindi, there is a philosophy which says that Badai Nana Atma, that's all of us, we go and meet with one big Atma, which is up there. But that philosophy is actually a wrong philosophy, because according to the scientific explanation, because these are the laws of the universe. So a soul is complete in itself. It cannot merge with another soul. Ever. It cannot merge with another soul. Now that is the extreme we have taken in Siddhashila. Now let's go to the lowest extreme. The lowest extreme is one sense being. Let's see if like souls can merge together over there. In like one potato, take the smallest piece. It could be like a tip of a needle. The smallest of the smallest piece, like very, very small, the tip of a needle. In that tip of a needle, there are infinite jeev. There are infinite jeev in that smallest piece of potato. And because there are infinite jeev over there, so Poonam, do you think that they can merge over there? Because in that one smallest piece of body, which we call matter particles, in that smallest piece of matter particles, there are infinite jeev living over there. Do you think they can merge over there? They can't even merge over there, because each has its own boundary. Each has its own boundary, and because of its own boundary, because of its infinite good qualities, it cannot merge. So what it is saying, Bindi and Trupti, that there are infinite good qualities, even when one is in one sense being, that is the lowest form of life we can get. And the highest form of or like a liberated soul like Siddha Bhagwan has also got infinite good qualities. So are you seeing that there is that angle of the soul where we are all equal? Be it Siddha Bhagwan, be it Arihant Bhagwan, or be it a one sense being, Veena Auntie, we are all equal because we all have infinite good qualities. Ashit, is that clear? So because we have got infinite good qualities, so now how are we different? How are we different? Now, the soul is made out of two angles, not two parts. Because when we use the word parts, it means, Neelamanti, that we can break the soul, that two parts can be done. Madhvi, please turn on your video. So we can like divide the soul. But the reality is that a soul cannot be divided. It cannot be divided. Hence, we never say the soul has got two parts. The soul has got two angles. You can look at it from this way, or you can look at it from this way. When you look at it from now, if you wish, you can first listen to it and then write it. If you look at it from the dravya angle, this is a new point which is coming in today. If you look at it from the dravya angle, all of us are equal because all of us have got infinite good qualities, infinite gun. If you look at from like the soul from the dravya angle, all of us have got infinite gun, anant gun. All of us have got anant gun. Now, if you look at it from the pariyaay angle is the changing part. Because now this is constant, as you can see, whether you are born in a one sense being, whether you're born in an animal body, like of a lion, for example, or you're born, like a human like us, or you're born in an ant, or you're born in a heavenly being, or a hellish being, all of us have got infinite good qualities. So this is the constant part of the soul. This is the constant angle of the soul, which is called dravya. D-R-A-V-Y-A. Let me put the spelling on the, because this is perhaps some of you might be listening to this word for the first time. It is called dravya. Yeah. So what is the definition of dravya, which is given in the book? This is how Gopal Das Ji has given in the book, which we will also put it on screens for everybody to see. Guno no samuhane dravya kehvai chhe. So meaning to say that infinite good qualities, the togetherness of infinite good qualities is called dravya. So this is the definition of dravya. Now, what is the definition? Or like, okay, first let us understand pariyaay. Guno no samuhane dravya kehvai chhe. And in English, the togetherness of the infinite qualities of this, infinite gun is called dravya, the togetherness. Because they've used the word samuha. Okay. Okay, so now pariyaay. Pariyaay is the changing part of the soul. That is the changing part of the soul. Now you will understand this with an example very quickly. For example, I bought a mango on day 1. The mango was green in color. And on day 3, the color changed to a slight yellow color. And on day 5, the mango became into a bright yellow color. So Rahul, is it the same mango or have I changed the mango?
Same mango.
Same mango. So it is the same mango. But what has changed from day 1 to day 3 to day 5?
The color, the
Good.
ripeness.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Very good. So the color and the ripeness has changed. Very good. So the color has changed from green to light yellow to a bright yellow. So are you seeing in one substance, there is something that is constant? The mango was constant on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. But there was also a change happening. The change, Trupti, was from green to light yellow to dark yellow. So that was the change in the color. So what is the gun over there? The gun over there is color. So the color, what was the change that happened from green to light yellow to dark yellow? Now, again, one more time, the mango is the same. It is the same mango. We are not changing the mango and bringing on the third day a different mango, which is light yellow in color. Or on day 5, we are not bringing another mango, which is dark yellow in color. We are not changing the mango. The mango remains the same. So that is dravya, which is the infinite good qualities remain with us in any form of life. But there's something that is changing. Sometimes I'm a human, sometimes I'm an animal, sometimes I'm a hellish being, sometimes I'm a then one day I become Siddha Bhagwan. So there's something that is also changing. Now let's take another example. There was a baby who was born. Let's just give her a name. Her name is, for example, Jill. So there was a baby called Jill who was born on day 1, and her size was this much. 1 year later, she became this much in size. And 5 years later, she could stand. So her height, for example, was about 1 meter. So when she was born, she was maybe, you can say, 30 centimeters. And at the age of 1 year, she was maybe a half a meter. She was she was maybe half a meter. So is it the same baby who was born, and after 1 year, have we changed the baby? We have not changed the baby. It is that same baby who was 1 day old, and that same baby became 1 year old. So the dravya part of it is constant. This is only an example. So don't try to apply too much of it in the example, because examples are only like in the Shastra, how they say, ek desh. We're only supposed to understand. Don't try to apply it, because it might not fully make sense. So they're only ek deshi. Okay. So, so the baby, for example, is about 30 centimeters, and now it is half a meter. So now it is half a meter. So what is same, Rahul? The baby is the same baby. Madhvi, it is the same baby. Now what is the gun? The gun is also remaining same height, because when she was born, there was a height. So the gun is also constant, but it is the gun which manifests. It is the gun which manifests, and gun is the change. Pariyaay is the change of the gun. I think it is clear, but in case if it is not clear, feel free to ask questions. Okay, so gun is the constant part, and it is that gun which is changing. So what is the gun over here in this case? It is height. Height is changing from 30 centimeters to 50 centimeters. The height, so height is constant, and the manifestation of height is called pariyaay. It is called pariyaay. And pariyaay is changing from 30 centimeters to 31 centimeters to 35, and so on until it reaches 50 centimeters. If it is clear, you can raise your hand. If it is not clear, please don't raise your hand, so that we can address your question. And if you still don't understand, we can still make it clear. So just raise your hand if it is clear. Okay, Trupti, Ashit, Madhvi, okay. In case if it is not clear, let's take one more example. Let's take an example of a tree. When you plant a tree, it is, say, for example, like 40 centimeters when you plant a tree, because it is quite small in height. 5 years later, it becomes into maybe 4 meters. It becomes into 4 meters. So basically, when you started, say, just to make it easy, it was 1 meter. And maybe 5 years later, it becomes into 5 meters. So so like what is staying constant, Madhvi?
Hi. The tree is staying constant,
Yes, and then
but the
what
height
is
is
the gun?
the
Yeah.
height
Yeah, so the gun is the height, and what is the pariyaay?
is the change in the height.
Very good. So the changes, you can say from 1 meter to 4 meters. That is the change that has happened. Now, all of you give an example. Just take a few seconds to think, and you can use various examples. It like doesn't have to be height. It can even be something in taste. It can even be something in smell. So like, for example, you can give an example of taste, of smell, because all these are gun. And you can...
So, no, the definition of gun is what?
The definition of gun, hold on 1 second, Ashish is here. So the definition of gun, actually they don't actually give a definition of gun, but still I might be wrong. I will still check it up in the Jain Siddhant Praveshika. The gun is the samuha. 1 second. Just a second, Ashish. Okay. So Ashish, we are talking about dravya gun pariyaay. Okay. So fine. Okay. So okay. Yeah. So okay. So Ashish, the definition of dravya is guna no samuhane dravya kevai. This is the definition that Gopal Das Ji Bharaiya has given in Jain Siddhant Praveshika, which we will put it on the screen for everybody to see. This is the definition. Guna no samuhane dravya kevai. Okay. So it is translated into the togetherness of the infinite gun is called dravya. And pariyaay, as you already know, Ashish, is the changing part. Now we were giving examples, and we gave an example of a tree. A tree, when you plant it, it is 1 meter. And 5 years later, it becomes into 5 meters. So Ashish, what is the dravya? The dravya is the tree over there. The gun is the height, and the change that happened is the pariyaay. So the pariyaay is the change that happened from 1 meter to 5 meters. Have you understood? Yeah. Okay. So now Madhvi's question was, what is the definition of gun? Let me get back to you on that, Madhvi. What is the definition of gun? But gun is a quality.
What is
Gun, when you translate gun actually means good quality. It is never translated into bad quality. So gun, when translated, is a good quality. And what it is saying, that we are filled with good qualities. We are not filled with qualities, but we are filled actually with good qualities, and that to infinite good qualities. Yeah. Okay. So,
Can I ask, when you talk about pariyaay, does it has to be something that's visible?
pariyaay is pariyaay is visible in the sense through gnan, that it can't be visible of the soul. Here we are talking about the soul. It cannot be visible with the naked eye, but pariyaay is visible when it comes to pudgal. Let's take this phone, for example. When I bought this phone, the behind pink color was very bright. It was extremely bright. But I used it for like 10 years, and that bright pink became into a dull pink. So that is a visibility that you can see with your eye, isn't it? Because now you can see, or like take a sweater, for example. When you bought the sweater, okay, so now I will give you this one example, then all of you have to give one example. When I bought a blue sweater, it was very bright in color. It had a like very bright color. I wore it for 5 years, and that bright blue became into a dull blue. So the dravya over here is the sweater, the gun is the color, and the change is bright blue to a light blue. And to answer Madhvi's question, pudgal is it is actually visible. The pariyaay is actually visible. The change is visible, because we can actually see that it is turning from bright blue to a light blue. Now, all of you give one example so that to know that you have understood. And if you are ready, just raise your hand. So then we start with you. Yeah, Madhvi is ready, and then Poonam.
So when I bought a blue pen, and after months of using it, the ink started drying up. So the ink was running out. So the dravya is the pen. The
Dravya.
Dravya is the pen. The gun is the ink,
No, gun is the color.
the color. And the pudgal is the
No, the pariyaay.
pariyaay, sorry, is the drying out of the.
So you can say the pariyaay is what you can say is that when you were initially writing, it was giving you a very bright color when you were writing. And as the ink started to decrease, it started to give you a very faint blue
Fade.
color.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, explain it again so that, ek minute, Ashish. Sorry, like Madhvi, explain it again so that it is clear in your mind. It should be 100% clear.
So the dravya is the pen. The pariyaay is the color.
No, the gun is the color.
Oh, sorry. The gun is the color, and the pariyaay is the change in the color. So from going from a bright color to a faded color.
Very good. So that's a very good example. Okay, who would like to go next? Poonam, are you ready? I think I saw your hand up. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I was just wanting to contribute. Sorry. I was going to give the example of drying something up. So if I've got chilies and I'm drying them out in the sun, so initially it starts off as a green chili. Excuse me. And the process of drying it out changes its color and its form a little bit. So the chili itself is the dravya, and the pariyaay is the drying. I don't know.
But what is the gun? But because gun, after gun pariyaay comes. So first, what is the gun?
So the gun would be the look and the color of the chili.
So the color, the color.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the pariyaay is now the chili going from fresh to dry. And
so maybe from green to red, I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
So and that is the change that happens,
the change that happens. And then the gun, the pariyaay,
and then you gave another gun. You can give another gun over their taste. Say, I mean, I'm not sure, but this is just a thought that say that the green chili was less spicy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it becomes into a red chili, it becomes very spicy. So that is the gun is taste.
Yeah.
And then it changes from less spicy to a lot more spicy.
Okay.
Yeah. So so that was a good observation. Yeah. Okay, who would like to go next? Yeah, Bindi. Unmute.
So you just gave an example of something I was going to give an example of. So like let's say yogurt. So if you make thing, so when you first make it, the taste is just like, mild. It's like a nice taste, or depends if you like it like mild or if you like it stronger, bitter. So the dravya is the yogurt. The gur is the taste, and the pariyaay is when the flavor changes, it becomes bitter, I guess.
Yeah, very good. So that was a very good example. Next, who would like to go first, Ashit or Trupti? I mean, sorry, Asit or Trupti, who would like to go first? You can just unmute and speak.
Hello.
Okay, so
yeah, it's okay. Let him speak.
Okay, yeah, continue.
Okay, so the eyes are the dravya. The sight is the gun. And the change in your strength of the vision is the pariyaay.
Good, good. Okay, next is Trupti.
I wanted to give example of body.
Yes.
Body itself is a dravya, and the knowledge we gain day by day, I can say that could be the gun.
No,
Oh.
wait. I will explain to you why this example will not be correct in just 1 minute. Okay, who would like to go next?
I can go.
Because Trupti, knowledge is a gun of the soul. It is not a gun of the body. Okay? That is the reason why. So you can think of an example. The meantime, like the rest can answer. Ashish, Veena auntie, and Neelam auntie and Rahul are remaining.
Okay.
Yeah, Neelam auntie. Okay,
Oh.
and then Ashish. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Example of fruit. For example, let's take a mango, as you had said before. So the mango itself is the dravya. And as it ripens, the taste of it becomes sweeter from when if you eat it raw, I mean, before it's ripened to when it ripens up. So the color will change as well as the taste will change. So the color is the pariyaay.
No, the color is the gun.
The gun, yeah, the gun, and the change, the pariyaay will be the changing of the color from
yes, from green to yellow, for example.
Yellow, and also the taste from sour to sweet.
So what is the gun in the example of the taste?
The gun will be the mango itself.
No, the gun is the taste, okay? Because dravya is the mango, so taste is the gun.
Oh, okay.
Because it is gun which is changing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because what is the definition of dravya? Gunano samuha. So it is actually the gun which is constant. Each and every gun is constant. But the samuha, the togetherness of the infinite gun is called one dravya. Right? See, I will try one more time. The togetherness of the infinite gun, is called dravya. So the mango is the dravya because it has got so many gun. It has got so many gun. We are only saying like 2-3 because of time, for example, and also because we only want to understand. So the gun you gave over here is taste. Taste is changing from, for example, bitter to sweet. Yeah. See, okay, now Ashish.
Maybe the easy one. Gold. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Gold.
Gold. Yeah, that's a good example which comes in Shastra a lot.
Easy one.
Yeah.
It's yellow and it's easily changeable. So you can take a ring and you can change it into earrings, for example. Just
Good.
So the gold is the dravya, and the guna, like the color, yellow, changeable, metal are the gur. Yeah.
Yes.
And then every time you change it, or your mother gives you some gold, and you might say, "I don't like this design. I get it changed." So that's the change that's happening.
That's the change that has happened. Yes. I example actually Shastra ma bo ave che of gold, because gold is the dravya. Pariyaay, the gun is the ability to change, because from earrings I can make a necklace, from necklace I can make an anklet, etc., etc., etc. So that's a good example, which is from Shastra. And Ashish also reads, which is very good. Okay, next.
Color is a gun, yeah?
Color is also gun. Yeah, color is also gun. Yes. Who is remaining? Rahul and Veena auntie, and then Trupti will give her example. Savita auntie, if you wish to talk, just unmute and raise your hand, and then you can also give your example. Okay, who's going first, Rahul or okay, Veena auntie? Fine.
Okay, I'm thinking of all these are lentils. They're hard. When you soak them, they become big. So the dravya are the lentils, and then when we soak them, they absorb the water. So that's gun, and then when you cook them, they become soft. So that's the pariyaay of it.
That's the pariyaay. So the dravya is mug, for example.
Yes. Yeah.
Mug is the dravya. And the ability, the gun is the ability to become soft. So now how will we put it in one word? It's texture. No, not texture. It's hardness. No, hardness is no.
Tenderness.
No, that will be the pariyaay. Hardness to tenderness will be the pariyaay. But gun, how can we put it in one word? The it's
ability to absorb water.
Ability to absorb water. No, because here we want to show from hardness it is becoming soft. So the gun will be okay, let's think of a word, but has everybody understood her example? That it has changed from hard to soft. So it has that ability to become soft. Now, how can we put that in one word? Fine, let's think. Okay, next is Rahul.
Okay, I'll use the example of say charcoal when it's hot. Okay, so the dravya here is charcoal. The gun is the temperature, and then the change is when you leave the charcoal outside on its own, it will go from very hot to cold.
Very good.
And that is a change there.
Yeah. So that's a very good example. Now, Trupti.
Yeah, the example is lens, contact lens, which we wear. Yeah, so that is what we can say, dravya is contact lens, and the gun is to see through them. And the changing part, the pariyaay, is once you keep wearing the lens, slowly, you are not able to see properly, and then you need to change it again. You should be getting new lenses, so you cannot see through it properly.
You must not change the dravya. You must not change the dravya. Let's use the example which like Ashit gave, because that makes sense to what you are trying to say. For example, the dravya is the eye, and the gun is the ability to see, so sight. So say from good vision to bad vision, because maybe with time, maybe the vision decreases. So don't change the dravya. So this is what we're trying to say. Don't change the dravya. Let's take the example again of the small girl. The girl is born, she is only 1 day old. The same girl becomes into 1 year. So it is the same dravya. It is the same dravya. What is the gun? The gun is age. From 1 day, her age is now 1 year. So what is the change? The change is the 365 days is the change. Yeah. Okay. So now all of you think of one more example, which you will tell me next time. We have got about 5 minutes. Yeah, Ashish.
I just think the easy way of the contact lens being the dravya.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gun is fine to see. Yeah, but with the pariyaay, the scratches that come on the contact lens. The contact lens is the contact lens, but it's changing how much you can see through it because of the damage that's being done. Yeah, with the pariyaay. It'll be like furniture. As it starts getting older, more cracks come, the grains are more visible. Some people like it. Some people get it repolished.
Yes.
So
yeah, Poonam.
Sorry, Kamal, I had a question. So we're saying that dravya is constant. We're saying that gun is that infinite, the gun is the good qualities, and the soul itself has infinite good qualities. But the gun are changing, right? Like the gun
No.
or the gun
is not changing. Why? Okay, look, she has raised and very important. The gun is the one which is constant. Why? Because the togetherness, the key word is togetherness, Ashit. The togetherness of the gun is called dravya. What is this trying to say? We cannot even remove any gun. We cannot remove any gun as well. This is what it is indirectly implying, and which will come even later on. It will actually come later on, that it is the gun which is the one which is constant, but we can't say one gun is a soul. It is the togetherness of the infinite gun is actually called, like for example, there are 5 people in a family. So will we say one person is family? No. We will say that the 5 people, the togetherness of the 5 people is called family. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't say, for example, the brother and sister are family and we remove the mother and father. It like doesn't work that way. It is mother, father, brother, sister, and for example, dog. 5 people, 5 not people,
Members
but
of the
5 members. So 5 members is called a family.
Sure.
5 members is called a family, but one daughter is not called family. Or one son or one son and daughter is not called family. It is that togetherness, because look, Gopal Das ji has written the word samuha. Guno no samuha ne dravya kehvay. So the word togetherness plays a very key role. Okay, now we have about 3 minutes. Please play the book. And today we will learn the Chattari Mangalam. And next week, all of you think of one example. Today, we have only learned about Pudgal, to be honest, not that you knew that, or like maybe you realized, but we have not yet learned the qualities of the soul. But anyway, give one example next week. And we will actually take it from there and then learn individually. Okay, so part bijo, char mangal. Go a bit up. Okay, so yeah, before you go to the second part, there were 5 questions down there in after the first part. Let's see who has answered that, because you had to answer that as your homework. Namokar mantra shuddh bolo ane lakho. So Namokar mantra ne shuddh bolo ane lakho. How many of you did it? Okay, so some of you did it, some of you didn't do it, but try to do it so that you actually get the hang of it, or like to say it properly. Okay. આ મંત્રમાં કોને નમસ્કાર કરવામાં આવ્યો છે? તૃપ્તિ, આ મંત્રમાં કોને નમસ્કાર કરવામાં આવ્યો?
અરિહંત, સિદ્ધ, આચાર્ય, ઉપાધ્યાય અને સાધુને.
Excellent, very good. આ મંત્રના સ્મરણથી શું લાભ છે? આ મંત્રના સ્મરણથી શું લાભ છે? Okay, who would like to answer? Poonam. No, Poonam was not here last week. Rahul, you want to answer? Okay. Who would like to answer? Just put your hand up, because I can't see everyone. Bindi, bol.
Are you saying what good flows in English? Is that what you're asking? What
Yes,
good
yes.
flows?
Yes, આ મંત્રના સ્મરણથી શું આપણું સારું થશે? If we remember this mantra, આપણું શું સારું થશે?
So from what I read, it destroys delusions, attachment and aversion, and leads to the right knowledge.
Very good, because that is what they've written on the top. It is actually removing wrong beliefs, delusions, attachments. Yes, and have they used Krodman Mayalok? Because just go up, let's see what are the exact words they've used. Arihant, Siddh, Acharya, Bhagwan, 1 minute. આ મંત્ર મોહ રાગ દ્વેષનો અભાવ કરનાર અને સમ્યક જ્ઞાન પ્રાપ્ત કરનાર છે. So this is the benefit. આ 5 નમસ્કાર મંત્ર સર્વ પાપોનો નાશ કરનાર છે. So Bindi's answer was correct. It is removing our like delusions. It is removing our aversions, likes, dislikes. So that is correct. And the additional is more, which is the the illusions. અરિહંત, સિદ્ધ, આચાર્ય, ઉપાધ્યાય અને સાધુ એ પંચ પરમેષ્ઠી કહેવાય છે. જે જીવ આ પંચ પરમેષ્ઠીઓને ઓળખીને તેમના બતાવેલા માર્ગ ચાલે છે, તેને સાચું સુખ મળે છે. So like Bindi, this is the additional point. The additional point is that we get the real happiness and infinite happiness. Now let's go down to the next one. Panch Parmeshti na naam bolo. So Arihant, Siddh, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu. Okay. Sachu Sukh kevi rite medve che. So which we already addressed, but still one person can answer. Raise your hand. We just read that. Madhvi is like, so raise your hand up.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on my phone, so you can't really see. I don't know where my hand shows.
Oh, okay.
So you have to, it's by following the path of the five supreme, what I don't know what they're
Yeah,
called.
Panch Parmeshti.
Yeah, following the path of the Panch Parameshwar and
Parmeshti. Say it again. Parmeshti.
Parmeshti.
One more time so that it sticks in your mind.
Parmeshti.
Okay, very good. So Panch means 5. Param, if you like break down the word, Punam was not here last week. Parmeshti is broken down into 2 words. Param means highest. Isht means somebody who is of benefit to us. Apane Isht che. So Param Eshti, the one who is of highest benefit to us, is called Parmeshti. One who will give us the real sukh. So look what is written over here. Je Jeev a Panch Param Isht. So I've broken down the word. Panch Param Isht ne orkhine temna batavela માર્ગે ચાલે છે તેને સાચું સુખ મળે છે. So one who basically follows the path of this Panch Param Isht will actually achieve liberation, which is the state of the real happiness. The real happiness is actually when one realizes that one is a soul. So this is what the Panch Parmeshti is actually teaching us. Now let's move on to the next chapter. Let's see how much time we have. We have about 2 minutes because we started slightly late and then we stopped the class. Char Mangal. We will just start because then people might also be getting late. Chattari Mangalam, Arihanta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevadi Pannatto, Dhammo Mangalam. Some of you might know this because even in school we were taught this. Chattari Loguttama, Arihanta Loguttama, Siddha Loguttama, Sahu Loguttama, Kevadi Pannatto, Dhammo Loguttamo, Chattari Saranam, Pavajjami, Arihante Saranam, Pavajjami, Siddhe Saranam, Pavajjami, Sahu Sharanam, Pavajjami, Kevali Pannatto, Dhammam Saranam, Pavajjami. So it is quite evident that 4 names are repeating. And now let's see what are those 4 names that are repeating. Lokma Char Mangar. The 4 names. So in this universe there are 4 Mangar. Mangar also we had broken down into Man means ego. Je man ne gade means destroys or removes. Je man ne gade, it is called Mangal. So you can write this down. Man plus gal, not gal, but man plus gal equals to Mangal. So one which removes the ego is actually called Mangal. So who are these 4 people who actually remove our man? So that is Arihant, Siddh, Sadhu, which again like Sadhu, it's like broken down into Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu. Mangar che tatha Kevadi Bhagwan is Arihant Bhagwan. Kevadi Bhagwan ne batavel vitrag dharma mangar che. Okay, we will stop over here and we will elaborate and understand what actually the writer is trying to tell us. But we'll read it one more time. Lokma Char Mangar che. The first is Arihant, Siddha Bhagwan, Sadhu, Mangar che. Tatha Kevadi Bhagwan ne batavel vitrag dharma mangar che. So sorry, the 4th one is that the dharma which Kevadi Bhagwan has shown us that is also Mangal. So it is actually the dharma. It is actually the Vitrag Jain dharma, which is also